Today we're going to talk about the 5 things that you should never take for granted. The 5 things anybody on this planet should never take for granted as an individual. So we're going to start right off the bat with number 1, which is time. Time. Time is the number one most valuable thing any human being has on this planet. Your personal time. That's truly your only source of wealth is time. It's your only source of value is time. That's your main thing is time. So when we work 9 to 5s, we trading our time for money. You know, you trading your time for money. So the game is to buy your time back. To buy your time back. In order to do that, you must free yourself up to where you making money in your sleep, to where you don't have to do anything. You've set up systems that'll bring you an income coming in, to where you no longer have to show up to a place and sacrifice your time in order for an income. But the main thing about time, no matter what scale you on, no matter what department you in with it, as far as like being an entrepreneur or an employee, whatever the case may be, even unemployed, how you spend your time is the most critical thing that you can do with your life. So being able to manage your time, which I have time management next to it, because managing your time is the most important thing to learn how to do. It's one of the greatest traits a person can create in their life is learning to manage their time. So you see that some people may have schedules written out for the month, for the day, for the year, stuff like that, because they managing their time. They're managing their time. They know when they want to be somewhere, how long they're going to be there, and so on and so forth. So when you can manage your time, you pretty much have actually come up with something like a system that can truly create success in your life by managing your time. Time management is the key to life. Knowing where you're going to be, when you're going to be there, why you're going to be there, how long you're going to be there, who you're going to be there with, and such and such. So, when we in relationships where we waste our time, or when we in, certain positions in a job where we feel like we're wasting our time, that's the thing that we realize eventually. It wasn't about like us being there. It wasn't about us, you know, not making enough. It wasn't about us, not getting our value like seen in certain circumstances. It was more so about the time that you can't get back. It was about the time you can't get back. The lessons we learn are always going to be beneficial, but the main thing, me personally, I always regret is the time I wasted on something or with somebody or in certain situations. So again, number one, the one of the main things and the main thing that you can take for granted in life is time. Moving on to number 2, which is health. Health, health, health. Most people do not even take into consideration their health, especially when like you have a good physique, especially when you're younger. You know what I'm saying? Like most of us grow up with good physiques. We got high metabolisms, and we don't store as body fat as much, and this, that, and the third. So when it comes to physical health, I feel like, nowadays we kind of pretty much take it for granted because we eat what we want. We don't work out, we don't stretch, we don't do, yoga, don't do brisk walks, we don't work on range of motion, like people pretty much just watch themselves deplete away, like this just disintegrate away. And then we end up in the hospital somewhere and we want to blame everybody else but ourselves. But at the end of the day, it's on us to take care of our health. It's on us to take care of ourselves and put that on a higher pedestal when it comes to living our daily lives. But it's not just about physicality, it's about mental and spiritual as well. So we got mental health, physical health, and spiritual health. Those are 3 things about health that we need to learn how to manage to keep a healthy lifestyle, to keep a healthy body, to keep a healthy mind, and to keep a healthy soul, which is a sense of peace in your life. So when it comes to mental, we're gonna start there. It's really about, making sure you getting, therapy, making sure you got somebody you can lean on, making sure you're not bottling stuff up and pushing yourself to a limit to where you're gonna explode eventually. Like you want to make sure that you making decisions in your life that are gonna bring peace and not hostility, not, disruption, dis-ease. So when we talking about mental health, it's all about like where your heart space is at. What does your aura give off? Like, do you have personal peace in your life? Or or do you have a safe space in your life that you can go to recharge, so that way you can go back into everything that you decide to indulge in full force? So mental health is very important when it comes to health. Then we want to talk about physical, which I've already went over, is just, making sure you eating right, making sure you doing some moderate exercise. It ain't even got to be in the gym going crazy. You can just make sure you're getting some steps in, and making sure you're not overeating, and doing some sense of you know range of motion, like stretching and stuff like that, because that's really vital when you get older. You start to feel all them pops and cracks and the tightness and everything like that. That comes from not doing daily push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, stretching like we used to do for 5 minutes before gym class, just minor stuff. It don't even got to be nothing crazy. But when you do it on a daily basis, it actually builds momentum, and like in a sense to where your health will heighten instead of decrease, because you're putting one brick on top of another when it comes to those daily little routines. You can wake up, do 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, some jumping jacks, and stretch for 10 seconds in different motions, and literally it'll change your life. I can't even lie to you. And then we talk about spiritual. I feel like so many people overlook the spiritual side of health. When it comes to spirituality, man, it's literally making sure that you take care of your heart. You want to take care of your heart. And the mental is your mind, the physical is your body, but you can't forget about your heart space. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's all about knowing your worth and self-love. You got to love yourself to the point where you won't allow certain things to happen and allow certain things and people into your space to where to disrupt your peace. What they say, protect your peace. You got to learn to protect your peace. And when it comes to spirituality, you got to protect your peace. And if you don't believe in God, then just believe in something higher than yourself, to where you feel like, you know, it's gonna protect you in this world. Something that you can lean on, something you can fall back on. Because when you don't have nobody else, you can have that essence, that entity, that self love that you can lean back on, and recharge yourself again, and remotivate yourself to the point where nothing in this world truly can stop you. Even if it's temporary, you're gonna get back on your feet, you're gonna get back on your square, you're gonna get back on the grind. So again, we're gonna do number one, which is time, number two is health, moving on to number three, which is relationships. Relationships are very important in this world. For one, relationships are so important in this world, to the point where unity is everything, oneness is everything. Like, in Lion King, he talks about everything being one, and that's what it is in life. Like, there's a unison in every essence of this world when it comes to us and nature and animals and the environment. Everything is like, it's like the butterfly effect. Like, when something happens over here, there's a reaction over there. When something happens over there, there's a reaction over here. So when it comes to relationships, it's not even, it's about like your connection with everything, but right now I'm talking about, like, humanity, such as friends, family, significant other, and associates. These are all relationships that could be very beneficial to you in your lifestyle. So you want to have good friends around you that are going to motivate you, that's going to speak life into you, that's going to have your back when you're going through some stuff, to where you can lean on them. You know what I'm saying? Same with your family. You want to be able to have a family. And family ain't always blood, but family is no more so people you consider like those that are like y'all locked in forever, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So family is always going, like, make sure they checking you when you doing something wrong, but at the same time they always gonna be here for you no matter what, right or wrong. And you need them type of people, because at the end of the day, like, some people will shun you for certain things, certain decisions that you make. But at the same time, though, we are not perfect creatures, and it takes family to be able to see that in you, that you're an imperfect human being, and We all make mistakes, but that doesn't exile us from the love of others. Significant other, that's a different type of relationship, which is a nakedness relationship, a vulnerable relationship. Like, yeah, we got friends and family, but when it comes to a significant other, 9 times out of 10, you are with this person more than you are with anybody, and they see you like completely, like they see you in a translucent way, like to the point where you are pretty much exposed in every area of your life, from the ups and the downs, the ins and the outs, the negatives and the positives, the confidence and the lack of, you know, um, your insecurities and everything. Like, this is the person that literally you want to be able to be naked with. You want to be able to be translucent with. You want to be able to be vulnerable, to the point where there's nothing to hide. You can be your 110% authentic self around this person, and they will never judge you for the way that you are. They accept you wholeheartedly. And we all need somebody to have that safe space in this world, because, a lot of us end up putting a mask on, even if it's just like a half a mask. Like, you could be half yourself in certain areas, you could be half yourself in certain places. But when it comes to this person right here, you can be your full self, your full self. And we all need a person like that in our lives. And even if it's an animal, no, let me stop though. But some people literally have dogs and cats and birds and all that good stuff, and those are their best friends, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But again, we talking about humanity, so it's nice to have a significant other that can literally you can expose yourself to, that is just non-judgmental and accepts you for you completely, no matter what, in every area of your life, in every downfall, every darkness, this, that, and the third. Last but not least, associates. Associates are people that you not necessarily friends with, but you're not at odds with. Y'all just cool. Like, y'all can literally lean on one another when it comes to like benefiting each other in certain aspects of your life, such as like business or health, hitting the gym and stuff like that. Like, there's the associate is a person that can connect you in certain rooms or in certain places or in certain areas, that can help you manifest things faster, that can help you grow faster, that could put you in a room that you never would have got in if it wasn't for them. Vice versa, there's people that you can put in rooms that they would have never ended up in had it not been for you and your relationship with another person. It's like that middleman thing, so associates are very important, because at the end of the day, like what they say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that comes down to associates. Like, associates literally can help change your life. Like, literally, you can find somebody that can help you get into a room that you need to get into, but you would have never had access to if it wasn't for that person. So again, that's why relationships are very important, because every last one of these, categories can benefit your life, and you can also benefit theirs by holding one of these spaces in their life. Unity. Next on the list, number 4, finance. 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 I feel like, and I'm not judging, because I mean I go through this a lot too as well, because I didn't grow up with what is it called, it's financial literacy. I didn't grow up with financial literacy. Like, I was getting money, but I was blowing money just as fast as I was getting it. So when it comes to finance, and a lot of people may think that I put finance too low on the list, but I really feel like I put it in the perfect spot, because I feel like the three above literally will reflect in your finances, from time, how you spend your time, who you're spending your time with, where you spending your time at, from health, what you spending your money on, where you spending your money at, how you spending your money, relationships, who you spending your money with, where y'all spending y'all money at, and what y'all doing. Are y'all saving, this, that, and the third? Like I feel like you invest in the money, relationships. So I feel like the top three literally boil down to how your financial life will look. So again, if you're trying to get your financial life together, you want to look into things like assets versus liabilities, and spending versus investing. Like, A lot of us in this world focus on spending and liabilities more than anything. We go out and get a credit card, and I'm not saying credit cards are bad. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. But we want to spend the money before we even had the money. So when the money come in, it's actually gone already because it's already accounted for. So a lot of people do that in that way. And we want to buy things that we can't afford before we can afford them. So it keeps us in debt. And again, using other people's money isn't a bad thing. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. But with us lacking financial literacy, most of the time we end up in debt that we can't get out of. And it just becomes a whole, ditch that we got to dig ourselves out of later. Instead of focusing on assets, which is creating and buying things that can literally bring you in money monthly, daily, yearly, but just an income that once you buy it or once you invest in that thing, it literally just starts to generate money in your life, in your sleep, or on a daily basis. But assets versus liabilities. Then we got spending versus investing. Spending versus investing. A lot of us literally just spend, 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 spend. Spend, 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 spend. Most of us literally work to buy stuff. We literally work to buy stuff. We don't work to invest. We don't work to buy an asset to create more money coming in. So we have more money to spend, more money at our exposure, you know. But the lack of financial literacy causes us to just spend. It causes us to be a consumer instead of a producer. And even if you consume, you still should be producing something, so that way you don't end up broke because you just spending all your money. Investing, investing, investing. I don't, not a lot of people invest. Not a lot of people invest, especially in the younger stages. And really, the craziest part is when we talk about compounding interest, investing is the smartest thing you can do at the youngest age that you actually come into some money. So the younger you start investing, compounding interest allows your money to grow faster and more abundantly when it comes to investing early, because literally compounding interest, you can start investing at 18 compared to 28, and it'll make a massive difference in your investment be, because of when you start investing. So again, financial literacy is key when it comes to how you spend your money, your finance. If you learn to control your financial life, literally the sky's the limit, man. The sky's the limit, because money is meant to be a tool to help you generate more freedom and also more income. So, you're supposed to make your money make money. But again, we want to look into assets versus liabilities, spending versus investing. Last but not least, the fifth thing you should never take for granted is an opportunity. Is opportunities. The reason you don't want to take opportunities for granted is because you may not get another one. You may not get another one. You know, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Like, so at the end of the day, when it comes to opportunities, even if you were to get another one, it's very rare, man. It's very rare. Like, like today is an opportunity, but once it becomes tomorrow, that day is gone. That whole 24 hours of opportunity that we get is gone. And yeah, we may get another one, but we still just let go of a whole day of opportunities. And when you're an opportunist, when you don't take care, when you miss some opportunities, man, it'll bug you. It'll bug you. Don't get me wrong, you can't catch every last one of them. And the funniest part about this is perspective. Like, a lot of us aren't even going out into the world looking for opportunities, you know? So if you're not even thinking about it, you probably won't even perceive it. You probably won't even see it. So you want to literally start making sure you're looking for opportunities. And when you get those opportunities, don't let fear hold you back. Don't let what if hold you back. Don't let, the lack of hold you back, and just take it as they come, man. Because literally one opportunity can change your life. One opportunity can change your entire life. And say you don't take that opportunity, you're gonna be staying in the same place. And when, like I say all the time, nothing, something doesn't come from nothing. Something doesn't come from nothing. So at the end of the day, if you don't do something, you ain't gonna get nothing. And if you do nothing, guess what you get? Nothing. So take every opportunity like it's your last opportunity, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, you ain't never promised tomorrow. You ain't never promised tomorrow. You only promise right now. You ain't even promised 5 minutes from now. You promise right now, in this very moment. So let's run through this list. Number one, time. Number two, health. Number three, relationships. Number 4, finances. Number 5, opportunities. And I'm gonna end all my videos with a quote that I feel like has impacted my life in a great way. And that quote today is, anything you practice, you get good at. Anything you practice, you get good at. So no matter if it's good or bad, no matter if it's good or bad, anything you practice, you will get good at. So I tell my daughter all the time, we were in the studio one time and I was trying to get her to get on the song, and it wasn't going her way, and she started to get frustrated and wanted to give up. But I'm like, look, baby girl, when I started doing this, I was messing up a lot too. And imagine if I would have gave up, I wouldn't have created half the songs that I got. And I love a lot of the music that I make. But in the beginning, it was way rougher than it is now. So like there's progress in it. You could see the difference. But my thing is, I didn't start like that. So I'll say this all the time. You're never gonna start where you're gonna end at. You'll never start where you're gonna end at. So the thing is, you'll never end if you don't start. So if you don't start something, where will you end up? Nowhere. Nowhere. You always got to put one foot in front of the other. But the most important part is taking the first step. So my thing about you, anything you practice, you will get good at. If you practice managing your time, you'll get good at it. If you practice wasting your time, negative, you'll get good at it. You'll get good at wasting your time. Imagine that, getting good at wasting your time. You can get good at either taking care of your mental health, or you can get good at neglecting your mental health, and it'll leave you messed up. You can get good at taking care of your physicality, or you can get bad at or good at messing up your body, not giving a dang. You can get good at being spiritual, or you can get good at being in the flesh, being a worldly person. You can get good at, you know, having better relationships with friends, family, significant others, and associates, or literally you can crash out on all those. You can crash out on all those. It's all about how you manage it. You know what I'm saying? So anything you practice, you can get good at. So again, the most important thing, time, but your finance, your finance. They say time is money. They say time is money, but really money is time. Because like again, that's our biggest that's our biggest asset, such as after ourself, is the time. But if you get good at managing your money, taking care of your finance, having a budget, clocking that checkbook, you good at it. Or you can get good at wasting your money. You can get good at blowing your money. You can get good at mismanaging your money, and you can end up broken, poor, and homeless out here. It's all about how you manage it. Again, you can get good at seeing opportunities and not wasting time to take them, or you can get good at not taking opportunities and being afraid to take them when they do come, and never step up to the plate to begin with. So again, these are the 5 things you should never take for granted. And like I say all the time, if you want to change your world, you change yourself. If you want to change the world, you change yourself. And when you change yourself, everything changes. Keep that in mind. And we out.
Hey, yo, Lens, make a splash.